All right, guys, it's Shane Redmond here. Just want to speak to you a minute about some new things happening at Evolution. Want to just give you some ideas on how things will change, maybe a little different from the norm. I also want to give you a little background on myself and on what I do and how I'm different than maybe a large-scale gym. Differentiate myself being a fitness studio for those who are not aware and looking for a new and different option for your fitness needs. So let's look at a few things real quick. So again, I'm a personal training studio, not a large gym. Don't have people coming in and out. I work with a target group of individuals by appointment only. And what you're paying for is you're paying for your safety and that knowledge that I can give you. You're not just going to come in, grab some weights and occupy a bench and do your own thing. I'm there with you the entire time. So some of the guiding concepts that I have, I like to model and conform and meet you where you are for your fitness needs. There's a training purpose at all times when we're working together. I have outcomes based on your goals, needs analysis, depending upon what's going on with you as far as previous medical history, things of that nature. So, and I like to progress in your fitness while focusing on injury prevention. So I want to get you where you want to be without you getting there in an injured fashion. So I always like to take care of you, and we address those needs if they arise. And most importantly, with me, there's always a how and a why to everything. We don't just do things just because it's what you might see on social media, because it looks cool or might be the hottest new trend. We do the things that are scientifically based, and there's a reason for doing the things that we do. So the core values I like to kind of instill are that total body focus, hitting all those body parts, not neglecting anything, doing corrective exercises for previous medical history you may have. There's things out there that are often missed that need to be addressed. So we want to make sure that we're doing some of those corrective exercises to take care of you and get you where you want to be. Always focusing again on injury prevention. That is a big caveat of mine. Making sure that you stay healthy at all times. And then I also like to throw in that fall prevention, working with that targeted age that I tend to work with. Fall prevention is highly crucial. Some of the training concepts, some of the things that are incorporated that I really like to focus on, that are important, that often get missed, multi-joint movements, but not inclusive and not leaving out Olympic style type of lifts, but we're not throwing around a bunch of heavy weights. Again, it's targeted or tailored to you. And then we want to look at any and all those hinge type of movements for that lower body. Like to make sure we always incorporate some type of rowing. That posterior chain is often neglected, so we want to make sure that we're always hitting that posterior chain. We want to make sure that we're doing some split stance, offset type of movements, loaded carries, whether it's single or double type of carries, overhead activities, whether it's pressing or just loaded overhead. When appropriate, again, always keeping in mind of anything that we have in that medical history. But and then also looking at some core training type of activities at all times, whether it's some type of stabilization, some type of rotational exercises, or anti-rotational exercises. So those are the big concepts or takeaways for things that I like to incorporate and like to do. So with all that being said, we're looking forward to what's it going to look like now. New training guidelines. So this is a comprehensive list taken straight from the CDC's website. We've all seen it. We've seen it for over a month now. So it's just kind of rehashing some of the things, but it's there. The things that we need to be aware of, we're all aware of, and that we can incorporate and we'll use each and every day. So with those guidelines from the CDC, we're incorporating those into the training atmosphere, the studio atmosphere, and to let you know what's going to take place or occur at my studio. So we're going to do contactless temperature, and it's going to be taken at the door. Unfortunately, you will be turned away if you have an elevated temperature, and that's just where we are now. I can't risk any of the other clientele that may be coming in after you and contaminating any of the surfaces. So that's where we stand with the temperature taking. I'm going to ask you to wash your hands when you come in. I trust you fully, but I don't know where you've been. You may have forgotten that you grabbed something that you picked up at a store, that you may have some transference there. So I'm just going to ask you to wash your hands when you enter. Mask and gloves will be optional. At this point, there's nothing saying that we have to. It's obviously highly advised. You are more than welcome to wear a mask. You're more than welcome to wear gloves, but it's not going to be a requirement. Again, if looking down here at the next step, and the reason for that is because our spacing is going to be more than 6 feet, if not up to 10 feet or more, depending upon the group size. Again, with the studio format that I work in, I'm only working with individuals, a single individual up to maybe 4 individuals. So square footage wise, we're going to be spread far enough apart. You're going to have your own training area. We're not passing each other. You're going to be locked and kind of isolated into one area. So again, as that next step says, you're going to have your own training area, your own training block to work in, your own equipment. So we're not going to be transferring from one thing to another like we're kind of used to if you work with me currently. We're really going to kind of isolate you into one area and working with you that way. And then one of the changes that I am going to make is for those hour-long sessions, we're going to start implementing. We're going to have those hard stops at 50 minutes. I've got to do that just to implement some very good cleaning procedures in between clientele. I want to make sure everything's clean for those that are entering, and then having that hard stop there will reduce the client contact as far as when someone enters and someone's leaving. We all really love that before and after time. We all tend to congregate, such a large family at Evolution, and which I'm missing right now. But we tend to congregate and hang out and talk. So we're going to have to kind of put a kibosh on that for now. Hopefully we'll bring that back, but those hard stops will allow us to make those changeovers and make it safe for everyone, looking out for everyone's health and wellness. And again, they're going to be using EPA, CDC approved cleaners at all times for those changeovers in the evening, in the morning, first thing. Everything's clean, all equipment's clean between every clientele. So you will be getting used to seeing that. With training for individuals and groups, if you're a group and you're just not comfortable coming back, I'm going to have options for that. I want you to feel comfortable. I want you to stay healthy, stay fit, but also be comfortable, not feeling that you're forced into doing anything, maybe because some of your group members are, or you're really wanting to get there and some of your group members are not wanting to come. So we're all going to kind of work through this together, but I'm going to continue to see individuals and groups in the studio if they're wanting to be there. And then there's going to be various options. I have had individuals take me up on some Zoom training, and I've also been putting out individualized plans, and I've also been putting out weekly, 2-day-a-week plans, and giving access to those workouts for individuals who are looking for them on a paid subscription level. So those will still occur, maybe in a little bit different format as I move back into the studio. I'm going to have some live recordings, and from those recordings, you will still be able to get to those recorded as well, and then some hybrid options where you may want to come in and then add in those live or recording options as well. So still working through some of that. It's going to be there. And again, always just check that email and make sure that you're aware of what's going on. So again, thank you for all the understanding and working through all. It's new to everyone. It's new to me. Not really the cleaning procedures, and those who work with me or have worked with me in the past know that the studio is always kept to the utmost cleanliness as possible. But we're going to ramp it up even more. So, and again, I want to thank you for being that high value client that's always there, willing to work with me, and for trusting me always, but also trusting me during this time that I'm gonna make it the best experience as possible always. So again, always check for that email. Sometimes it gets whitelisted, gets pushed over to your spam, gets pushed over into your junk mail. Just please kind of keep your eye out for that Evolve with Shane email. We'll be sending you out plenty of updates. Didn't want to bombard you over these last few weeks, but expect things to start ramping up here pretty soon. And again, all the social media platforms, I'm always there. Over on Facebook, here at the Evolution Personal Training Sports Performance page, on Instagram, at Evolve with Shane. If you're on Instagram, check me out there. And then on YouTube at Evolution Personal Training Sports Performance. A lot of you guys aren't aware, but in those weekly emails that go out, that video, that free video clip that I always put in there, all of those are on the YouTube channel. There's over 100 free videos there, and they're short, they're quick, and you may be looking for a mobility drill, 3 or 4 little quick exercises you can do, or taking an exercise and using bands instead of dumbbells, or there's lots of options. You can go through those videos free for you at all times. And again, there will always be more added to that channel. And then, again, I look forward to getting back in the studio, working with each one of you, keeping that distance, but still giving you what you need and prioritizing your needs. We're all getting, I think, a little stir crazy, and we want to get back to normalcy. So I'm ready to provide that at the studio. So send me an email, send me a text, give me a phone call. But again, be looking and aware that things are happening real soon. So I want to check you again, tell you thank you and appreciate you always.